That's probably it.
Either all of some of them 15 or 20 people. I'll let you have no credit. You didn't ask. Oh, she ain't cut. At 6 o'clock, we're gonna call this meeting to order. It's our regular board meeting. Thank y'all for coming. Glad you up this invitation.
No, we don't let us pray. Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you this day. Lord, we thank you for all your many blessings in life, Father. Lord, I just ask, Lord, that tonight, Lord, you just be with us. Lead, guide, and direct us, Lord, of everything that's said and done. And Father, then just be with us through the remainder of this day. Keep us safe. Free upon us, Lord. All these things we do and ask in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Ricky, you lead us up.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public comment. Anybody got a public comment?
If not, Jared.
Yes, sir.
If not, I'd like to ask that we might just take one moment of silence to remember 70 years ago today. Everybody would join us.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Number 5th on the agenda, approved minutes for August 14th, the 20th, and the 30th meetings. I hear a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion. Hear a second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Motion carried. I need a motion to approve to pay monthly bills. I hear a motion.
I make a motion.
Motion, need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank y'all. Next on the agenda, number 7, quarterly updates. The Joint Development Authority, next on the table. Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pleasure to be here. Thank y'all for inviting me. And I provided all of y'all with a report and continue to do that every month, even when I can't be in attendance. But just so y'all can keep up with what we're doing and just to give you an idea on the things that I'm doing to represent the community at the state level especially. You can see we have several different projects going on. We have a couple of existing industries interested in expansion that we're working with. Both of those are looking at land out on the Douglas Highway out by the Technical College, and we're working with them on that. And you know, in a small community, 3 or 4 jobs means a lot. And you know, that's what we hear so much everywhere now is existing industry expansion, because that's creating the majority of your jobs, as y'all know. And we're extremely fortunate to have a good variety of diverse industries here, and it's been a pleasure working with them. I have been working with some retail prospects on the old Harvey's, CVS building, and the Fred's building too. So hopefully some of that will come to fruition. And then you can see our programs and partnerships, just different things that we're doing. Of course, I'm part of we're part of the the Southeast Georgia Regional Development Authority with Athens County and Bacon County, and we've been meeting regularly. Also, the city of Hazelhurst is actually has the Regional Development Authority with Telfair County and Lumber City, and we actually have a prospect for that for Lumber City as well. We're working with them. Another thing that I've really, I guess I have a passion for is downtown and small business. And so I've organized a lunch this Thursday. It's going to be out at the golf course, and I'm trying to get the Downtown Development Authority kind of up and running again. And so we have some, people who purchased property downtown and want to get it up and going. And so I just decided to host a meeting. The Development Authority is going to host a meeting, and we have a speaker coming in to talk about downtown development and some things we can do for the community, some grants maybe we can apply for, that sort of thing. But I just see a lot of people interested, and that's a good thing. I've had a lot of response to this meeting on Thursday. So anyone who's interested, who would like to come is welcome to attend. And downtown and the heart of your community is so important for economic development and quality of life. So that's one of the reasons I think it's so important. So hopefully we'll have a good turnout for that meeting. That'll be this Thursday, like I said, out at the golf course. We had an HR meeting today. We had about 25 representatives from local businesses come, and so that was really good. We had an attorney that works for Beasley come. They twisted his arm, and he came and presented for free, so we didn't have any expenses there. But he talked about workers' comp litigation, and that was really really good for our other employers, maybe that don't have that level of attorney. And then anything else that one of the things on October 3rd and 4th, the Georgia Chamber is hosting a Rural Prosperity Summit in Tifton. If anyone is interested in attending that, there'll be a variety of state legislators, state folks there. That talking about all the different emphasis that's been put on rural Georgia, especially at the state level lately. So if anyone's interested in attending that, please let me know. Maybe we can partner together. Any questions y'all might have?
Got any questions?
What about a Captain D's? You hear anything about that coming in?
We are going to meet with somebody tomorrow about that.
Oh, you heard about that?
I keep hearing Captain D's, I keep hearing Popeyes, I'm trying to wrestle the mayor and find out what he knows. I don't know how that is.
Hey, Mayor.
Oh, he would agree with me, I know. It seems like I call him all the time. He has a tendency to just jump on a project and run with it,
Anyone else?
Thank y'all very
Well, I
much.
say thank you. Thank you for everything. Next on the agenda, road department, road superintendent, Mr. Fulton.
Stephen Fowler, take me a few minutes, I'm gonna time up. I'm gonna give y'all an update for the last 30 days, kind of what's been going on. We have, that's up to the day, we've had 126 work orders called in, and we have completed 91 of them. Some of these work orders have been took several days to do. One of our projects, we got a new landfill consultant, and I think he's gonna work out really good for us. He's a great guy to work with, and we had a few things that they wanted us to get done with the landfill. We got it straightened out, we cut all the grass and cut the ditches and clean the drainage ditches out, and so some bare areas that needed, and added topsoil. That's squared away. We've also had done some work with the rec department and hauling in and out some dirt. We've added Brockton Highway and cut the bushes on the Brockton Highway. Other than that's what's been going on around our regular ditching and pipe laying and grading, ground repairs and a bush cutting. What we're looking at for the next little bit, besides our regular routine, we just got finished cleaning the ditches on Spale Road, which really needed them, the highway part, hauling debris off from there. We're presently working on building up Hewlett Wooten Road right now, getting some dirt on it, so it can be graded out and hopefully it'll last a lot longer. That's been something that's been needing done for a very long time.
Thank y'all for bearing with Robert when he devotes his attention to that, because that's been on our agenda for what, about 8, 9 months?
Yeah,
at least?
at least.
He just needed a break to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Get in there and do it.
Been very patient, I appreciate it, but, we got a lot on our plate, but we're gonna get that done for you. We also got some property down at Buckets Ferry that we need to get straightened out, the county property. And, we also got a road on Towns Bluff, Mr. James Berry calling the saying to get on the highway, we'll get that straightened out as soon as we can, that's on the agenda. And, right now, we're just trying to get, finished cutting grass. We've cut over 5 times in the county completely. And, hopefully that we can, get by with one more time and trying to clean up around the stop signs and spray those and weed signs as we go on the last one. And on our bush cutter, I know y'all think it ain't going nowhere, but it's slow. We've actually, since January, it surprised me, we had, we make a work order on every road we do. We've cut 131 roads, since January. We wouldn't have had 40 of them if we hadn't had the tractor that we got. That's why I'm cutting grass, not bushes. That's kind of where we at. Kind of about past 30 days and what we're doing as of right now and what we're looking at ahead of us in the next few weeks.
Mr. Robert, have you ever looked into spraying this grass with MH30?
MH30, but Jerry, I really would like to sit down and talk with y'all. A lot of these counties, after they cut these bushes, they I don't know what they're spraying with, but it cuts, right now, with the side cover that we got, that y'all purchased for us, we're cutting 3 and 4 inch stuff and cutting it back, way back.
Right.
And, a lot of these counties are just making one trip after they cut them with a sprayer. They don't come back for a long time. If we don't spray them, it's about catching back up with us. It's not the big stuff, the dog pounds and everything else goes back in the road.
Lord, spring.
And, I'd really like to sit down with y'all and see something we can look at to, help us in that. It could really help our roads a lot. And it's very, very fast, but you talking about spraying the shoulders when they make started?
Spraying the whole ditch with MH30?
That's
What that does is that stunts that grass, keep it from growing. You used to use it on tobacco, and that's just about that way with, for suckers. But what it does is hold that grass for like 4 to 6 weeks. Whatever you cut it at, it'll hold it there.
Probably a lot cheaper than buying
Be a
one.
lot cheaper.
Wouldn't be, we have a truck, we could put a tank on, and that would be a very inexpensive fix right there. It would be just a good.
But you still need some of that other stuff to burn back in the bushes you're talking about.
Yes.
Jerry, you know, if the county would have to have,
Okay.
certified.
You'd have to have pesticide
pesticide license.
Yeah.
We'll have to get that.
Would it be go through one certain
Yeah,
person, one
go through.
commissioner holder, or would it have to go through?
No, you go through Jennifer there, then a couple of you men get certified. I think you have to get, you got to pass that test. It ain't nothing to it.
I believe that'd be a great thing to come up with next year.
That's a good suggestion.
Save a lot of money.
Save a pile of money.
That's what it's all about.
Rob, what can we, that Barney Road that we did, those vines is overtaking them again, is that, need to do up there?
Yeah.
You can spray it in the ground up and kill the vines.
Really, it's don't know what's out there.
knock it down in a hurry.
Yeah, we'll spread.
I know we don't compare all the other counties, but Appleton County spraying their roads, and they can spray, a pile of miles a week as you're running down the road with a wide band sprayer on the back of a 2-ton or 3-ton truck, with a 1,000-gallon water tank. And there's one person.
Get a flood till, they'll spray it right out.
Anytime y'all would like to, so down and get that started, I'm sure we'd like to meet
The
y'all.
only thing about spraying the trees, though, now, you're gonna have to make sure it's a chemical that won't affect cotton or peanuts or tobacco, especially tobacco is the most sensitive. Any questions, Joe?
I got that Bronson Highway there.
They got the dirt on the shoulder roads, and I also contacted, Jimmy Pruitt and Dominic and, Mr. Morris, Greg Morris, our representatives, and they called, DOT man called me, and I told him if we could get any help whatsoever. They really don't think, the way they talking to me, that we'll be able to swamp it, but they do think that we'll be able to get some help to add a foot or two on each side of it. They said they do everything in their power to get us some help. So why?
Why they can't, that's a state road, man, 268.
No, 268 is state road from Snipesville.
It used to be.
It used to be, and it got swamped.
To the bypass.
Yeah,
Yes.
and a long time ago, it got swapped for a bypass.
And you can't get a swap back.
I'm trying my best. I'm talking to Dominic and and then Mr. Carter, I was gonna go to, they had a meeting over there at Beasley's Monday, this past Monday or Monday a week ago. They had a meeting, and I got sick, wasn't able to go, but DOT man was over there. I was gonna ask him, but Mr. Carter went and asked him some questions, and he kinda got the same impression that I did, that they probably won't never swamp, because it just opened the doors up for every other county had a bad road.
But they might help us.
But they might help us widen it, and that's what I'm getting
They're
from
gonna
it.
get us a price on it and see what it, then go from there. They had talked to the engineer, he's supposed to get a price on what it would cost to put the extra shoulder on each side. And then they said they would get back with us and talk about it once they got that price.
But we're gonna go, Mr. Carter and I are gonna go to Jessup one day and talk to the DOT man down there,
Yes.
kinda pumping up maybe, because it's got to go through him
Gotta get through.
regardless.
So you saying it becomes a state road up on the other side of
Other
the
side of
state?
That's just.
Oh, so 107, we got 107.
107, you join up state road again.
Yep.
That's the 285 bypass, like Atlanta, that's the 285 bypass.
Yes, sir.
That's the most used road.
And see, it used to, you could keep big trucks off of county roads, but that no longer exists. If they qualify, they can run that road. The only thing you can get them for is over wet.
So question, I know they don't coordinate this through you, but do you have any insight on, and I know most of it is in the city, but why would DOT take all the grass up off the shoulders, so now they've got bare dirt with all the rain we're fixing to have? And first of all, why don't they do that? Because of erosion control, but do they even, I mean, do we even know anything about when they're doing anything like that? 'Cause I mean, they have taken everything off down the highway. I mean, it's bare dirt all the way over. So, I mean, all the way Flash Foods out that way is just.
Everyone where there's a rain shoulder on it, where the drains are at, they call themselves clipping their shoulders. And that's not the only way they can get up there and do it, is get all of it. And I know where it's coming from, it's a bad time to be taking all of it.
I don't know if they tried to coordinate that with us because, especially the city, I mean, all that dirt's going in, and I know that state right there is going in the city streets. Anyway.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Brooks.
Let's go.
Next on the agenda, Recreation Department. Mr. Dunn.
Hey, you guys, so we got, just a quick update right here, we got soccer, I think it's ongoing right now, we got registration, we got the league started, hopefully Tuesday, we ran out snow. We're gonna finish up Tuesday with soccer. And then we got football, we just finished registration this past Friday. For football and cheerleading registration, we got practice going on right now with that. And the 341 update on the complex out there, on Alfred Roberts complex, is, got some breath out there today. I mean, like, got some light, because we got lights on here. It looks like it's got some light to it, so. But, hopefully by Friday, solid will be done, and the lights be hung and be light. The fields and all that, got one field with fence already around it. Hopefully about a week and a half, we'll have both fields completely done. Or fencing and everything, other than the concession area and all that, we gotta get that done. I mean, we're working on bids and all that, or not bids on that, we're working with Natasha Bennett to do some stuff on that, because that's the city county, that's a joint project right there. And, I need Robert's help on the tearing down this here old band stand out there, where the band sits and all that, I need that, and, I mean, I opened the 22nd. That's not this Saturday, but Saturday week. Bleachers and all's got to be down.
And just the one field's gonna suffice.
Yes.
So what are you gonna do about the 22nd? You won't have bleachers by
I'm
then.
gonna take and move some from the rec department out there to just to, try to compromise that, just till we can get by till we get the other ones. And I think that bid runs this week, I think, in the paper. As far as the specs and all on that.
We're gonna have one of them, you gonna have one of them new scoreboards up by then?
Scoreboard, no, we probably was gonna go, what we go, I talked to Mr. Keith, we probably gonna put the new scoreboard on the new field and use the existing field we got to the other one until we co-op with Coca-Cola on the existing field we got, and then we'll take and put the new scoreboard, the other second scoreboard, new scoreboard there. So we can punch and get on, go ahead and go in the playing time.
Say that again, you confused.
All right, what he's gonna do is, we got the scoreboard already still there,
The old one's still.
Yeah,
It's
still
still
there.
functional.
It's functional.
We're gonna use it
That's all.
until we get, so we done got coach to give us one. We're gonna put it on our new
And
field.
we're gonna co-op with that.
And when we co-op the next one, we'll put it on, we'll take down that old.
Okay.
That's
We're
what we
gonna
have.
have them two old goal posts till we get the new ones up,
Right.
so that they can at least play on that field this year.
Of course, them specs, like I say, is supposed to run this week in the paper for the next 2 weeks.
But that'll help, you'll get them pretty quick, because
We got to take care of that and just move forward and, but, I mean, drive by and look at it, I mean, I don't know if you see when you come by this afternoon, I mean, it gave a breath of life out there with them lights here, it looked like a ball field. It looked like a complex, it just gave it some life, and I mean, it's breathing.
Is
They
that
where it's
lower,
at.
the lower, about 12, 14 foot up, looks like, is that lights there too?
That's some kind of lights, yes, that's like a dimmer
Like a
light,
walk
like a
light.
reflection, walk light.
Okay.
But the lights is already preset, they already, according to spec, or the candles, when they come back in, they'll fine tune them. They told me today, they don't ever have to, once they set them, they don't have to move them on that. They there. Do a good job.
Anyone else? Not speaking of Judge. One thing I forgot to ask you, Mr. Lewis, I had been about a week, but is them poles still out there, the old light poles?
Some of them are, yeah.
Some of them are. Show them for sale. Well, we got to put them out for
That's
sale.
on the side and all.
We did, but we took
That's
it
supposed to be.
back.
Give me, I'll tell them.
Got so much,
Oh,
we're gonna have to redo it.
Hey, the irrigation system's in too, y'all. We'll recognize everything, it'll be functional end of the week.
Bruce, I know you probably didn't put all this detail in the advertisement for the bleachers, but just make sure. There's been enough of them installed in the last 2 years that do not meet commercial, public access. I mean, single treads instead of double treads, they gotta be fenced from 3 feet up all the way
All the way
around.
around.
They gotta have
Be
back
barricade,
plates in
yeah.
them. I mean,
Handrail.
yeah, they'll say anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we got that, once they, I got more detail, more specs, they can come see me and we can fine tune it out there, make
Be
it.
good, but once we get bids in, y'all, like, figure it out. Check on it.
we'll call, that's right.
any chance of, I mean, I don't know if they any chance of ordering any prisoners put together? I mean,
It sure help on
that's
costs.
most.
Can we get some prisoners?
We don't give enough prison for that much.
We don't have a detail.
You can't have.
I hate to say, the ones I saw today, might as well not.
I mean, well, there again, you go to, that's a safety structure too, you know, stuff like that. I mean, don't,
Yeah, yeah. Just trying to think of a way,
okay?
it ain't gonna be cheap.
Yeah. Thank you. Good.
Next, Dale's not here, so we move right on to
Come on, I think that was.
hospital, just take the hospital. Appreciate you coming.
Pleasure to be here, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I do have a few handouts here for you, just to glance at on going on. Wanted to start our discussion off tonight on the second page after the title page there. You'll see a graph, just to give everybody an understanding of where we've been and where we're planning on heading. We had a couple of years, 2014, 2015, that were not overly successful on the financial side, losing slightly over $1 million both of those 2 years in 14 and 15. However, in 16, we did turn the corner with a profit of $201,000. Again, these numbers are in thousands. 2017 brought that up to $935,000 profit. 2018, we're actually on target right now, after we just closed this month, of about $1.4 million as far as the bottom line for 2018. And we completed our budget for the fiscal year of 2019, where we're estimating a bottom line of $1,475,000. The vast majority of that turnaround was cost management. It was eliminating redundancy and addressing some of the cost issues that we had in the organization. And now we're turning our minds and efforts towards growth. And the next couple of pages kind of talk about that growth. On September 24th at 4 o'clock, we're having our ribbon cutting for our new 10-bed, 8,500 square foot behavioral health unit that we have put into place. That will be a godsend for this area, to be able to have capability for inpatient psychiatric care. There are numerous hospitals around our region that have patients sitting in their ER beds for 7, 10, 14, 20 days waiting for placement, for an inpatient placement. We anticipate that we will be busy in that area. This is an adult psych facility, and probably will mainly be more towards your geriatric patients, but at the same point in time, we will be certified and capable of taking any adult patient into that facility. We're also certified in regards to addiction therapies in that center. We don't anticipate starting in that route, but moving into that route as we continue to gain experience with our staff at center for those types of patients. So love for y'all to come out for that event. We'll actually have a prayer walk at 3:30 where we'll be going around and having our chaplains from our hospital lead us in a prayer walk and blessing that facility for our staff and patients. The open house will be at 4 o'clock till 5:30, and we'd love to have you all come out and take a look at that facility. We're very, very proud of it. In addition to that, in the back of our campus, we also have a wound care center that will be going or being completed towards the end of October. That facility is in place to mainly address wounds as it relates to diabetics, also those long-term care patients that have decubitus sores, et cetera, that need to be taken care of. In that center will be basically a doctor's office in that front section with 4 exam rooms to address those wound needs. And then we also have 2 hyperbaric chambers which provide 100% oxygen therapy to those wounds. Again, that's the state-of-the-art methodology as far as treatment of deep wounds. We are blessed and excited that we have that capability now here in Jeff Davis County to administer that kind of care. So we're excited about that. A ribbon cutting will be announced later on that as we move closer to finishing that project up. Also wanted to make mention of an item that is extremely beneficial not only for the hospital but for the community as a whole, and that's the Rural Hospital Tax Credit Program. If you are not aware, in 2016 the legislature established a Rural Hospital Tax Credit Program that went into effect in 2017. In that program, it allows individuals to be able to donate to their local rural hospital, and then as a result take that donation as a tax credit on their Georgia income taxes. That tax credit can be equal to your tax liability with a cap of $5,000 for individuals that file single, or $10,000 for those that file married jointly. It is a great program. $60 million has been set aside for that. In 2018, they actually made that 100% tax credit, which basically means every dollar that you donate, you get back through the tax credit from your Georgia income taxes. There is an additional benefit in the fact that if you file your federal tax return and you deem those to be charitable donations on your federal tax return, you get a benefit on your federal tax return as well. So again, a lot of benefit and opportunity. Some of the things that Jeff Davis Hospital is using their tax credit dollars for in 2018 is addressing some issues that we are currently having with our roof. We also have a new boiler that we had to replace, which was around $60,000. Roof replacement's about somewhere in the neighborhood of $400,000. We're replacing some floors in our corridors. In addition to that, buying some IT equipment, a new phone system, and we have other things in our 2018 capital budget that we're looking at as well to just bring additional services to Jeff Davis residents when they're needing health care. So this benefits, one of the things I want to point out, and I'm sure you as county commissioners know this, but of all the tax dollars that are paid in the state of Georgia, 82% of them stay in Atlanta and the surrounding area. Only 18% actually come out into the rural areas. And this is a great opportunity. Rather than sending your money to the black hole in Atlanta, you can actually say, I want my money to stay here, and you know exactly where it's going. So y'all are a great mouthpiece for the community, for the county. Appreciate any information that you can provide to your constituents in regards to the tax credit, and just appreciate your overall support of the hospital in general. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Anybody got any questions for me?
Yeah, did we have to do a certificate of need for that psych unit?
We did have to do a certificate of need because it met the dollar threshold. That building is about a $2.4 million building, and as a result, we did have to file with the state. We've completed all of the required reports through the 25, 50, 75, and 100% completion mode. So we have addressed all of those issues. The last thing we're waiting on is the Department of Community Health to come down and do their inspection so they can give us the occupancy certificate.
One more question. Did telemedicine ever take off?
You know what, that's one of the things that we're currently looking at. One of the areas that we're going to supply telemedicine is in our psychiatric unit for patients that are going to need care beyond the capabilities that we have. We will have 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week mid-level psychiatric care with 2 psychiatrists that will be able to be connected via telemedicine. So that's one of the areas we're working on. In addition to that, for individuals that come into our ED with stroke or chest pain, we are connected with St. Joseph Candler to provide that care via telemedicine to determine whether those patients need to be shipped elsewhere or whether we can administer the TPA and then be able to keep them local. So we use it for that aspect as well.
I guess that was always the issue, and I guess y'all are addressing it now with the legitimacy of who you're using for all your telemedicine stuff. You know, it just didn't have the reputation, so to speak, as being a good level of service to provide back 8, 10 years ago. And so I reckon that's come a long ways in your relationship with Savannah and other folks like that, so can help that out.
Absolutely. And telemedicine's a great tool, allows individuals to get care without necessarily having to travel a great distance to do so. Unfortunately, there's a lot of folks that just, and I understand it, they just prefer that face-to-face visit, and as a result, sometimes telemedicine doesn't take off the way you'd like it to, but it is a good tool.
My question is you your title, what, you administrator or what, spokesman?
I'm the chief financial officer at the hospital.
Okay. Pleased to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. I've been here going on 9 months, so
Okay.
I've really enjoyed the opportunity to be here and to serve the hospital.
Okay.
We got him and Andrea from Douglas.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Perfect. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Come here.
Next on the agenda, number 8, approve / deny road closure on West Tennessee Avenue in the city of Denton. And that's that road where they want to build a dollar store. So
I'll make the motion.
you got a motion, and here's a second.
Second.
Any discussion? None, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank y'all. Number 9, approve resolution updating and authorizing 911 charges on telephone service and wireless enhanced 911 charges other than prepaid wireless services. And it's, we got that resolution, if you read it in your package, it's the same, I thought it went up, but it's the same thing, $1.50 per month. So I hear a motion to approve that. Got a motion, I hear a second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank y'all. Number 10, approve resolution updating and authorizing 911 charges on prepaid wireless services. That's the same thing except it's prepaid. I hear a motion to adopt that.
I'll make a motion without that.
I hear a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Motion carried. Number 11 on the agenda is approve or deny beer and wine license for K&M Patel Enterprises. She's got the paper in here, but I think there's a little more problems than we thought there was.
Yeah, I'll make a motion at this time, we do not approve this bill.
We probably need to make them aware as to the reason.
Yes, we do.
Why, but, yeah, I'll second your motion.
Any discussion?
What's the problem?
Well, ballpark.
Across the street from the park.
Park,
Not
across.
across the road.
You talking about
And the ordinance, yes, sir. And the ordinance adopted in 1981 says it has to be a certain distance.
Quarter of a mile, which is really too far. Towns on,
Well,
what city,
I got one
about
store right down there.
1,000 feet,
Exactly.
1,000 yards? What's the city of Hazel's ordinance, Mr. Tony?
500 feet, I think.
500 feet?
Yeah. The deal is, and Brad, you tell me if I'm wrong, the policy was adopted in 1981, and none of us really knew
That's not,
it existed until, all of a sudden it comes up, and, because they won't put it across from the park. And so, I mean, we gotta do some research and fix the policy.
we're gonna fix it.
It has, and it's never came up, because 1981, who in the world keeps track of them every year, and says, oh, you got this ordinance.
But it needs to be updated.
It
It needs
does.
to be
It
updated.
does.
Yeah, but that one never qualified.
Not yet, this one will never qualify, just across the street.
Even if you was 500 feet, it would,
Right.
it ain't 100 feet.
But I guess my question to that is I don't even know the background how that came apart.
my question to it is that store grandfathered in or
I'm not
not?
over this change ownership, I was thinking we could do that. It's been sitting there vacant for years.
I think Ms. Carla, we need to get Ms. Carla to look over
Yeah,
that.
all license it has to be renewed. Or if you miss 30 days, you have to go through the whole process.
There is just Nathan tonight.
Okay, I hear a motion that we table that for right now.
No, we made a motion to deny it. I
Oh,
second it.
deny, okay. And you second, any other discussion? If not, all in favor of that? Motion carries. Thank y'all. Okay, number 12 on the agenda, discuss new or old business. Any new or old business? You got anything, Mr. Carter? Anybody? Okay, if nothing else.
Mr. Chairman, I should have done this at the beginning, I'm sorry. Miss Minnie's last day will be this Friday. We're having a lunch for her from 11:45 till 1:30. If any of you are able to drop in and wish her well, we're gonna have some sandwiches that we're supplying next door, and folks are bringing desserts and drinks and what have you. It would be very nice, I'm sure she'd appreciate it.
From 11:45 to 1:30?
Yes, sir, I think that's the time, I don't remember exactly, but that pretty much covers all the courthouse lunch times.
And that's this Friday, which is beautiful.
Yeah, that's Miss Minnie Watkins, her last day is this Friday,
Okay.
so if anyone can, that would be, I'm sure she'd appreciate it. And I know we
I thought she would too. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Any other? If not, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
That's wrong. I'm gonna make sure you get a sign.
Further behind. Think like. You all right?
You're welcome. I'm sure she'll start to see you too. Hey, I'll be back if he's in town. Okay, I'll do it. I mean, we'd love to see it. We want to see what. Huh? I'm all the time. Yeah, I know, but when the boss can't even get you out of